Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment in our Avian survival episode. And now, in the last episode, we were in quite the rough spot towards the end due to an unfortunate run-in with a creeper that we had. So, as you can see, I've done some work off camera, and I went and made sure that I am ready to go, geared back up, and I'm definitely missing a lot of things that I had at the end of last episode, but we'll get those things back and then some, because we're going to not have to trek out as far as we needed to as we did last time on the hunt for those lily pads. Speaking of which, they would not have accomplished what I was hoping that they would, and I'll show you kind of what I've done to remedy that. So of course we have this little farmland that we were wanting to set up on the back side of our house here, and unfortunately the lily pads wouldn't keep this water from freezing. But what I've done here, and you can't see from this angle, but these are jack-o'-lanterns with, torches on the inside. And because those are light sources, they will keep this water from freezing, which is just fantastic. So up here we have pumpkins that run up and down the sides of this farm, mainly because pumpkin pie should be a source of food for us that we can eat. I need to track down some chickens and make a chicken farm, other stuff like that, but we should be able to survive on that decently well. We've also got our beetroot in here, we've got our potatoes, we've got wheat, we've got carrots, we've got, just about anything that we can grow, especially because of our dietary restrictions, which is quite nice. And while we were out on our adventure, I actually found a couple of friends, which I have in here. Now this little guy right here with the blue collar, this is Theo, and Theo is fantastic. And then over here in the corner, I don't know why she went over that way and stuck her head right in the wall, but this is Lily, and she's fantastic as well. We'll probably take them out on some adventures later on, but for now, they're just going to kind of stay inside the house here, and they should be fine. I don't have a name for this horse, but he's done decently well for us, so he's living inside as well, especially because I'm pretty sure I lost my leads at the end of last episode, so I don't have anywhere to tie him up and haven't built a pen as of yet, so that should be fine. Now, the funny thing about the adventure that we were out on last episode is that we were looking for a swamp, and I trekked a couple thousand blocks over that way. Well, not a couple thousand, maybe 1,000 blocks out in that direction. But if I simply would have walked to the other end of this village, I would have found that there was a swamp significantly closer than where we ended up going for it, which is a little bit frustrating, but it kind of comes with the territory. I didn't know that there was a whole extra farmland right there, so we might have to pay a visit to that sooner rather than later. So yes, as you can see over here, this is the swampland that we could have come to and not had to trek nearly as far for some of the lily pads, especially since those are non-renewable resources. However, since we are right here near the swamp, we may want to try that technique that's been going around Reddit and YouTube that details how to get diamonds relatively easily, and it has to do with these little clay chunks that are scattered throughout. So let's go ahead and collect ourselves up some dirt, because we're definitely going to want that, and we do have a water bucket, so that'll be good as well.
Oh baby, I wanted you to be here inside my arms where the night goes down. Oh baby, I wanted you to be here when the sun comes up and the day goes by.
So I actually had it wrong the first time that I attempted this, but I went back and went over the way that this is meant to work, and sure enough, we've got ourselves what appears to be a 6 vein, no, just a 5 vein of diamonds, but 5 is better than nothing, and it's certainly more than we started today's episode with, so I will not complain. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this redstone, and why not take this gold while we're here as well, because we're certainly going to need that at some point later on in this series. But now let's go ahead and make our way out of this pit. And this is the main reason that I brought a water bucket along with on this journey. What are you doing here? You don't have anything noteworthy to me, except these leads, which I will take very, very thankfully. And there's more clay chunks that we can dig around in here, but for now, we're actually going to run back home so we can make ourselves some more and better gear, especially with all this iron that we've just accumulated. Man, you really got to learn to not give up so easy on these things, because yes, it was on the right coordinate, but we are all the way down here at bedrock for this batch of them. So if you don't find them at your stereotypical diamond level, don't give up, because they could be at the very pit of the world. Gosh, that kind of feels like cheating with as easy as it is, but it's just game mechanics, really. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's not very often that something comes along and completely revolutionizes the way that people play the game, but this is certainly one of them. Well, if you would have told me at the end of last week's episode that I would have gone from rags to riches in just a matter of an hour and a half or so, I would not have believed you. But we were fortunate enough to find a very close swamp to where we're at, and in what feels like an exploit, but really isn't, it's just a very specific game mechanic, we are now better off than we were before, and very excitedly looking forward to next week's episode. But that is going to do it for me this week. If you are enjoying this series, make sure that you leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe for daily variety content if you haven't done so already. And we will see you in the next episode. Thanks again for your time, and you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.